Hey all, welcome to the channel. I wanted to do my first actual painting video for a while, and it's on something that I use quite a lot actually, but I don't really see people talking about or recommending or something like that. So if you're doing Space Marines or any models, you're gonna highlight your edges. So this is one where I have painted painstakingly the edges. I'm not very good at it. Let's be honest. Compared to a lot of people, that's pretty shoddy. This was a few years ago, to be fair to me, but yeah. Painting your edges is one way to do it. Another way to do it is to dry brush. So this has had some wash on it and some dry brush. You can see on the shoulder pad there. It's got kind of nice bit of edge highlighting to it on the knee there as well. Looks good on the belt there. Yeah, looks good. And that's basically, I basically did a load of dry brushing on this, very gradual sort of dry brushing. And then something that I've recently been doing, and which this video is about, is the kind of highlighting that gets this result. And the thing is that this is actually less steps than both of these. It's easier. It's a bit messier, but basically painting videos that I've seen, they're always about adding paint, and that's kind of makes sense. Like, that's what we're doing, isn't it? We're adding paint to get an effect. But this technique actually involves you removing paint, and I think it actually ends up in like some good looking effects if you do it right. Like, for example, that elbow looks good. That corner there looks good. This hand and the bits there look good. And I think this arm looks good as well. So, yeah, I feel like everything has to have a name these days. So I'm going to call it subtractive highlighting, because all of these ones are like additive highlighting, where you're adding something that wasn't on the model to it. And as the backdrop here, I've got basically my homebrew Space Marine chapter that I've been working on. Yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you do it, and I'm going to do it on one of these primaris intercessors. So it involves basically priming your model with whatever you want the highlight to be. In this case, I'm using white, and then I'm using, for the whole chapter, I'm using Griffhound orange. So I'm just going to go ahead and give that a shake, which you can probably hear. I'll put him down there. Yeah, and the first step is basically just to put, what do you call it? Should I put this paint here so you can see it actually? It's a bit tricky with a camera, but hopefully I won't end up spilling loads of paint on my models. So yeah, just gonna start getting it in, and I'm really just slapping it on here. That's kind of the trick with contrast paints. Ooh, I think I flicked some paint on a model that didn't want any there. Which is, I haven't done this before with the camera rolling in front of me. It's like right in front of my face basically, which is unusual for me. So yeah, please be, I hope it doesn't, what's the word, get too messy. Anyway, so that's on, and there's different ways and different timings you can do. And basically I'm just going to use my finger, a clean finger, and I'm going to think about how light would basically come down off it. And just as I've done on other videos with the zenithal highlighting, where you spray on there and it kind of highlights stuff and then you shadow from below, I'm basically going to use that white primer to highlight it. And this contrast paint works really quickly. I'm kind of deliberately leaving it on there for a little bit on that arm, just so it can stick a bit more. You get different effects if you do it straight away or if you wait a bit longer. So now, fingers crossed this one looks okay, but I'm basically just going to rub the paint off. So if I bring it up closer, and I feel like I could get a better gradient on that shoulder pad, so I'm just going to go cute kind of. There you go. I think that's ended up looking okay. Very white on the top, but I quite like the kind of delineation that you get there. And then sort of applied over the whole model, you'll see that it results in a kind of cool, well, I think it's cool. It's definitely time saving, and I know that, lots of us with our lives being whatever they are, mine's quite busy, with work and kids and life and all of that. I quite like anything that's kind of labor saving that still kind of looks good, you know. So here we go. So that's on there. That's looking good. I'm going to give that a moment and crack on with the rest of them. And I did do one that without this technique on it, so you can see afterwards the comparison. And you know, you can do this with like you know if you use a wash or if you use a contrast paint, you're basically using the model to do the hard work. And this is kind of also doing the same, but instead of looking for those recesses, say with dry brushing actually, you're kind of using the proud bits of the model in order to let's put some more in there, in order to actually get a good looking effect, which I think is good. There's a few bits pooling there on the dark, you know, see the sort of dark bits. So I'm just going to go ahead now, and I'll be honest, I wasn't super happy with how that arm turned out, but go ahead and just gently get that knee going. See, it's starting to get a nice little edge there. That's a nice little edge highlight. And then here on the sides, got to clean your finger as well, otherwise it's a bit on the bum. He's probably got a proper name, these bits, but it's a bum, innit? Space Marine bums. And then if you get this smearing like that, you can just keep going at it. And you can get some cool sort of almost cool. Oh, I've just spotted a bit I've missed. Just getting there. That's me just rushing kind of for the video to get the contrast paint on. On this side, there's a bit pooling there. I'm going to take that off with a brush. And then do it like that. Is that okay? These kneecap bits work really well with the that edge, that white edge, I think. See what I mean? And then you get that up there. And then, yeah, I think that's looking all right. So there you go, his bottom half's kind of done. And then, you know, I'm not going to do a video where I'm doing this for the whole model. So in true Blue Peter style, I don't know if you know the show Blue Peter in the UK. Here's one I made earlier. So yeah, I'll just go through a few of the other models that I've done this on previously. So here is a aggressor, bit over the top on that knee, but other than that, I think he looks okay. Close that so I don't... He's a sergeant for my Hell Blasters. He's one that I didn't do it on actually, now I look at it. So if we get one that I did do it on, so here we go. So here's one I did do it on subtly, and versus one that I didn't do it on here. So you can see it looks a lot flatter, I think, on the ones that I didn't do it on. And you just get some free highlighting on the ones that I did do it on. And I think that's good. You get some dirty orange fingers. But I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to do a video sharing what I think is a potentially, well, it definitely is a time-saving technique that can, you know, help you get some cool models, like painted. I know that a few people, and I've got a friend who I was messaging today, who I know watches the channel, and he's ordered some orcs, and, you know, I was like, are you painting them? And he's like, no, I haven't painted any since the 90s. But, you know, stuff like this can maybe help you get out that funk and get painting again, and not have to worry about, here's another one without it, and not have to worry about, what's the word, highlighting, because you can literally just swipe your finger across it and it highlights it for you. This one seems so okay. Yeah, so there you go. This was my video on what I'm calling subtractive highlighting. Feel free to let me know if someone else has already coined the phrase. Hope you find it helpful. If you're, you know, in a rush to paint an army or something, then maybe this could be of use to you. I'm sort of flying through this homebrew chapter that I'm doing, to be honest. I think they're looking quite good. Obviously, it's focused on the Blue Angel there. Yeah, if they're going to come together okay once I've done bases and things, I think it'll be good. I've still got to do some, intercessors. I've just built some assault stuff. I've ordered a I've decided that instead of having these like firstborn Marines as the HQs, I'm gonna have them, because they're called the Astral Embers, I'm gonna have them led by chaplains, kind of exclusively, and they're in their black armor like coals. I might have them glowing or something. I don't know how I'm gonna paint them. And then, you know, they've got these kind of orange like sparks. Space Marines flying them. Bit of fun in it. It's better. It keeps me off the streets. Right, cool. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you find some use in that. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? And I'll see you in the next one. Right, cool. Have a good one. Bye-bye.